praise him. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. If we only learn to lean on him, because we talk a good game. If you're Pentecostal, you can really talk a good game. And if you're Baptist, you can talk almost as good a game as Pentecostal. Yeah. Unless you're Sister Johnson that can quote scriptures just like it's nobody's business. But the thing is that it don't matter how much Bible we quote. It don't matter how much we talk. It don't matter if our King James is bigger than our chest. It don't matter if our NIV is bigger than our chest. What matters is exactly what the song was saying. That no matter what, we lean on him. My daughter made me a very proud papa, I believe it was a week ago. My daughter put a post to Facebook, and yes, I'm one of those parents that checks what their daughters put on Facebook. I'm constantly on her Facebook page. But the thing was that she made me cry because what she put was a caption that says, "I serve God not because my parents tell me. I serve God not because society tells me. I serve God because God is real for me." And after I shed a tear, you know, because I was at work. You can't cry at work. That's not professional. I wrote her back and I said, "I'm proud of you, baby, because it makes me good to know that you are not led by what people say, but you are led by conviction. And conviction is what makes us lean. Because when everything is falling apart around us, we still believe. Even when we're down on the ground and they're kicking us, we still believe." Trace Atkins, you may be seated. I mean, I'm glad I'm so important that y'all still standing, but Trace Atkins, 15 years ago, he wrote a song. Okay, for those of you that don't know who Trace Atkins is, he's a country. Deacon Early knows who Trace Atkins is. He's a country boy. Yeah, that's okay. My daughter does too. My daughter also listens to his country. And Trace Atkins wrote this song, "Where Were You?" Or do you remember where you were? He wrote it right after the towers fell. And that's a great question. Where were you? Where was each of us that fateful day, 15 years ago, which is commemorated today? Where were we? How did it impact us? And after you think about that, my question to you is, what have you done in those 15 years after? Amen. See, because when the towers fell, the churches were full. I was still here. Everybody ran to the Lord. It was the end of the world. It was just like 1990 when Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait. Everybody thought it was World War III. Churches were full. People were flocking to the altar because it was going to be the war to end all wars, the end of the world. But just like then, after we found out that Desert One wasn't the end of the world, our churches started suffering in Exodus. Yes. After 9/11, first couple of years, all the way up to 2003, Once we got Saddam and we pulled him out of his hole, and we got Saddam, there started being an exodus out of the churches again. But we sing, lean on me. But we sing, I won't let you fall. We sing, Deacon Harrison, open the floodgates of heaven. Amen. We sing all these songs that are great, and they are true. Amen. But where is our conviction? Where is what truly makes us a Christian? Amen. I remember Sundays, all these church chairs being packed. Yeah. Yeah. Little chairs along the walls and whatnot. Oh, yeah. Amen. Did God change? No. Did the message change? No. Is he not coming back again? Yes. Did he not die on the cross for us and he rose again? Amen. And one day he's coming back? Yeah. So what happened? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we talk about that, my lovely wife, my lovely daughter, they're accompanying me. My new four-legged child is back there too. Yes. My PTSD was getting really bad a couple of months ago, and I spoke with my shrink, and I told him, look, I gotta do something, I gotta get this under control. He says, well, I can put you on pills. And I said, Dr. K, no offense, I like you and all that, but I've already been down that road. At one time in my life, I was on 45 different medications a day. Talk about cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That was me. And I was working in the military, in the field, driving, and crazy as I said, like the Cocoa Puffs bird. I told Dr. K, Doc, I can't do that. I said, there are studies that say that service dogs for patients with PTSD, the treatment rate as far as effectiveness goes, there's an 85% success rate versus treatment with pills. I said, can we do that? He said, well, can you get a dog? I said, well, I'll find a dog. Now the only problem is, training him. Yeah, because by the time December rolls around, Zeus will be worth $40,000. That's how much the training is. And I'm like, okay, I can't pay that. So, no, that's not expensive. That's obnoxiously expensive. And the Lord, through the contacts through VA Church and whatnot, we spoke, and we found this organization that, as long as you're a vet and they have a diagnosis from your doctor, they will do the training for free. So the Lord blessed us there. Yeah. And the other blessing is that, Veterans Church. Veterans Church is great because I get to deal with people like me. The issue with Veterans Church is, I have people that come and pass it and go, well, how's that going? I said, well, it's going great. And they go, but how many members do you have? I have, well, when the kids are all there, 6. They're like, what? They're like, what do you mean 6? I'm like, yeah. My daughter, 3 of her friends from school, my wife, and me. That's 6. He goes, but don't you think that's foolhardy? Don't you think that's a waste of time? I said, why? He goes, but your Veterans Church, you're supposed to, be full of veterans, especially if you're in the VFW. I said, well, you know, I said, you measure the success or the impact of your church when you're having a Sunday service and people are running around like it's the Kentucky Derby. Their hairdos are getting all messed up and the pews are being overturned. That's how you measure the impact that you're having and the impact of church. I said, and that's okay, because I like that. That's cool to do every once in a while, because I get tired and I'm older now.